If you really want to make a change, if you want to make a commitment to change, then you have to get leverage on yourself. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com, and today I wanted to talk about getting some leverage on yourself. You know, if you want to make a change in this life, you've got to have a certain amount of commitment. You've got to have full commitment if you want to quit drinking alcohol, because, you know, alcohol is often a lifetime habit. It's a lifestyle habit, part of a lifestyle habit, and it takes a big commitment to change, you know. Motivation is something that you need to have as well. But motivation can be very fluid, you know. One day you can feel really motivated to do something. You've got your reasons to quit right up there in your mind, center forward, as they say. And then the next day you get up and you're just not that motivated, you know. But that's the human condition, you know. It's the same as willpower. You know, willpower is a muscle that you have. It's like a muscle. It's not a muscle, but it's similar to a muscle that if you use it, you strengthen it. If you don't use it, you lose it. And you only have a limited amount of willpower, so they say. I think willpower more goes with your energy level. So the more energy you have, the more willpower you've got. And like I say, it's, you know, these are two fluid things that we have in our lives. Either you know, the willpower is there or it's not, you know, depending on the day, depending on the time of the day, same as your motivation. But commitment has got to be there 24/7, right? You've got to have, once you've got commitment, you're there, you know. You're not going to give up no matter what you're going to do, you know. I mean, let's take an example from the real world. Imagine a brain surgeon, right? You've got a brain surgeon who goes in and he's motivated to do, he's got to do 5 surgeries in one day, and he's motivated to do 4 of those. He feels really motivated to get through 4 of these brains, opens up the skulls, does the work that he's doing them, and he's like, yeah. Then the 5th one, he's not really motivated at all. But what he has got is commitment. He's committed every day to giving the best version of himself, you know, to put in the best effort into every one of those 5 brains that he's doing. You know, it's the same that you've got to have when you get up every day. You've got to be committed to quitting drinking alcohol, regardless of what happens. You've got to be committed to that one task of not putting alcohol into your mouth. You've got to be committed to aiming yourself forward instead of backwards, right? Aiming yourself towards the replacement goals, to the new goals you want in your life, and not backwards. Now, I think it was Archimedes that said, give me a place to stand, give me a lever, and I'll move the world, right? You know, if you've ever used a shovel, right? Shovel's got a big long handle on it, and you dig away at the shovel. If you break that shovel, break the shovel handle in half, and then try and dig with that shovel, you've got no chance. You know, you might stick it in all right with your feet. You know, you push the blade in with your feet, but you're not going to leverage any of the ground out. And the reason why is because you've lost your leverage. The leverage comes in the long handle, right? And it's the same thing in habit change. You've got to find some way of leveraging a part of your life. Find a leverage, something that you can use in your life that's going to help you along the way. Now, people are a great leverage. We're leveraged by pain, or we're leveraged by pleasure, right? There's 2 different angles. I mean, pain is, in general, it's difficult to change. You know, change itself brings pain. You know, it's just one of the things that happens. It's outside of a comfort zone, and to one level or another, we always get a certain amount of pain from change. Obviously, the bigger the change, the more pain you're going to get, the more discomfort you're going to get. You know, so that's the way you have to think about it. So you can actually find leverage in pain. Now, I'm not talking about causing yourself physical pain or anything like that, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to associate the pain with the old habit, right? So you're associating the pain with staying drinking alcohol, with remaining doing what you're doing, right? One way to do this is to take a sheet of paper and put a line down the middle and write down all the stuff that's going to happen if you change, right? And all the stuff that's going to happen if you remain the same, right? So how your life is going to turn out if you remain the same, and how your life is going to turn out how you if you make the changes that you need to make, right? Make these very vivid, right? Be dramatic in these things, you know. Think about these in terms of your body, your physical changes, mental changes that are going to happen if either or situation, if either or circumstance, right? You know, you should have a lot of ammunition then for change, you know, for especially if you listen to a lot of my videos, you're going to sort of see, well, you know, change is definitely the better outcome than not change. You know, me changing now is definitely going to be, if I don't change, what the fuck is going to happen to me, you know? Where am I likely to turn up? How is my life likely to turn out? How is my health likely to turn out, you know? All those kind of things. Another way you can look at the pleasure aspect of this is to look at it from the perspective of a little bit of pain now, pleasure later on, right? Whereas if you don't change, you've got a bit of pleasure now. As I've said in previous videos, that pleasure is diminishing. It's got diminishing returns. The more you drink, the less pleasure you're going to derive out of it. And the opposite end of that equation is more pain later. You know, so a little bit of pain now to quit drinking, go through the process of quitting drinking, go through the process of changing your life, and that also is a diminishing pain. You know, the more you go through this pain, the less pain you're going to have in the long run. Just climb up this little bit here. Got a fly annoying me now. It's one of those things about and just it's not a pretty sight, that. Oh yeah. Right. Let's carry on. Another thing you can do is to visualize your future, you know, see your family, your friends, in both aspects, right? From the perspective of, you quit drinking and how that's going to turn out, and you don't quit drinking and how that's going to turn out also, you know. So, you know, that's another way of looking at things. You know, I'm always on about trying to get yourself to look at all the positives, right, of the future life, not the one that you're leaving behind, nothing that you're sort of, all the crap that you're putting behind you, but the things that you're going to have now when you quit drinking, right? So not only that step by step upwards journey that you're going to take, but the long-term benefits of you quitting drinking as well, you know. I mean, you've got to sort of look at that. That is big leverage, especially if you can do that on a day-to-day thing. You know, all it takes is a couple of minutes. Look at the benefits for you in terms of money, in terms of health, in terms of your family, how this is all going to benefit your family, how it's going to benefit you, you know. You know, these are all good leverage points. You know, there's different ways that you can bring other people into this thing of causing you a little bit of pain, you know, get leverage on you. You can sort of bring in your friends, bring in your best buddies, somebody who's going to follow through with this, right? And sort of give them a check, right, for whatever it is, $100, a couple of $100, whatever it is that you can afford to do. You know, it has to be an amount that's big enough that you're going to miss it if all goes wrong, right? And the idea is that you give a check to your buddy and you say to him or her, look, if I don't quit drinking, if I don't follow through with my role of getting to a certain date, right? So whatever date you want to put on it, 30 days, 6 months, a year down the line, you know, give them a sum of money that you're going to really miss and is going to make a dent in your life, right? Give them a check, and that check is written out to a charity that you just cannot stand, you know. You know, the idea of you putting money to them, like the Ku Klux Klan or somebody like that, you know. I don't know. It's going to an organisation anyway that you just, the idea of them getting money off you is just not a good idea, you know, because if you're a Democrat, you know, make a donation out to the Republicans, you know. If you're in England and you're Labour or Liberal, you know, give a donation to the Conservatives. I'll tell you what, that works. You know, you've got two points with this. You've got, first of all, the money loss, and the loss of money to somebody that you know, you just hate, you know, that you just would never give money to. It goes against all your principles. Another thing is to, you know, tell your friend that you know, like, this is, if I don't get past this thing, then I'm going to do something that I really don't want to do, you know. Another one is to eat something that you don't want to eat. I mean, this is not going to work for sort of long-term goals, but, you know, for me recently, giving up salt, one of the things that I told my partner was that if I don't give up salt for a week, I have to eat a whole bowl full of parsnips, right? And I hate parsnips. I can't stand the taste of the bloody things. So that was my thing, and that sort of, I'm only 7 days into this, but there's definitely, and there's no way I'm going to eat any form of salt. No chance on this planet. So I hate those things. I mean, before, when I was eating meat, my leverage would have been to eat a kind of dog food, or even worse, a kind of cat food, you know. It's all about finding some way, being experimental, finding a way to get leverage on yourself, you know, to find, I think this is sort of an important part of it. You've got to get experimental with this. You've got to think about things from your own perspective, what's going to work for you, what kind of things are going to work for you. You know, be experimental, think outside the box. You're basically trying to break the pattern, right? You're trying to, you know, just snap yourself out of whatever it is you're doing, and, you know, give yourself the best chance of succeeding, you know what I mean? Flies are just annoying me now today. Sorry if I'm a bit distracted. Anyway, if you have any comments at all, any suggestions, leave them down below in the comment section. Come on over to the website and sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already done so. Stay safe, keep the alcohol out of your mouth, find some leverage, and until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Onwards and upwards. Good luck.